Mark Bell saying that's like strength is never a weakness. You're never gonna get like worse at powerlifting by becoming stronger raw.
Changes the perception of the sport.
Yeah.
You may not know it now because you're in it
Mm-hmm.
at that point, where if all you're ever around are the top 10%, you
Yeah.
only compete in the top meets.
Yeah.
In a way, you kind of forget what the sport's really about,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because when I was in the national level and I went to a local meet, I hated them.
Yeah.
I hated them with a passion. And I still kind of hate any meet, by the way. They're boring as fuck.
That's true.
But
I also go to like a local meet and I like you get that guy that grinds out like a third attempt. That gets me hyped.
all
Like,
right, so you still see it then.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot. I lost that when
Okay.
I was competing.
Yeah.
And this is why I hated the sport when I was out of it. Like, fuck, then I went to a local meet and I'm like, that's kind of really what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, is that person grinding out that 315 for the first time.
Yeah.
Where it's a big thing for them.
Is there like a what's a like a bench number that you like if someone hits this bench, do you like start being like, oh yeah, that person's strong?
Probably 405.
Yeah, I'd say like 405.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen too many. I mean, well, what did you bench in high school?
Going into my senior year of football, I hit 265.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen so many high school kids hit like 275 to 315
Yeah.
that, like, in my mind, like, fucking anybody can bench.
Like if you're hitting like 315 in the gym, I'm like, all right, like I'll give you props, but like
Yeah.
once you hit 405, that's when I'm like, all right, you're strong.
It's a little different world. It's like you can kind of, the way I see it, I should probably preference that
Yeah.
is pretty much anybody can get to 315, but to get to 405 is another world.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, it's people, you don't hear a lot of stories like, well, yeah, man, the first time I went to the gym, I benched 405.
Yeah, you have to either be like an absolute like genetic freak or like train for it to hit 405. And I feel like most people need to train to hit 315, but
Yeah,
you kind of need a little bit of both to hit 405.
I think so. What would you say that number is for the squat?
Ooh.
That's a different one. 'Cause for-
If someone's squatting over 500, honestly, if someone's squatting over like 405, I'll kind of be like, all right, like I'll give you props for that. 500, it's like a little bit like it's a level above. Like once you get to like 600, then I'm like, all right, like
yeah,
like they're like at least I respect.
squat's a little bit of a different one too because most people don't know how to do it for shit.
Yeah, it depends on like how deep they're going to.
Yeah, so they can be really, really strong, but look like horse shit.
If they have a good looking like 405 squat, then I'm like, all right, like
Yeah.
nice job, man. Like especially like a commercial gym.
Yeah.
If I'm in a commercial gym and I see like someone do like a clean 405, I'll be like, oh, all right.
No, I would be the same. Actually, just anything clean.
Yeah.
You know, if it's 315 clean, you'd be like, this person's putting in some work.
Yeah.
You know, they're not just like, you know, looking like ass.
Yeah. Deadlifts is weird because, like, I don't know, you got leverages to deal with and stuff like that. Like, some people are just absolutely built for deadlifts.
Yeah.
Did you pull sumo?
I pulled both.
Okay.
I was when I competed, it was for total.
Okay.
Right? I wasn't strong enough to be breaking world records and
Yeah.
shit like that. So the part of the reason I hate the deadlift, outside of the fact I just always hated doing the deadlift, was I was always in this weird position that it's like, here's the opener, you need to do that just
Yep.
to get in the meet, and then here's what I have to pull to
Yeah.
place third,
Okay.
or to win, or to do this. And it's like, when am I ever going to pull something that's like a PR?
Yeah.
Because keep in mind, you know,
Okay.
I'm the two lift thing, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the times for me, it's like I'm going to leave my second open,
Okay.
right? So I'm going to pull my opener, see what you do.
Okay.
Now I have an idea what I have to do on my third to be able to place.
Gotcha.
Because most people will take first, second, third. And I wasn't going to be able to pull three anyhow because I was fucking fat and out of shape.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to happen. So a big part of that, the deadlift just became this thing you had to do before you went to dinner.
So, like, I love the deadlift. It's weird. I don't know. I think that's a gear versus raw thing because, like, I think the deadlift raw becomes such a bigger part of your total.
Oh, it is.
So, like,
It should be for the others too. You know, it's just there's so much carryover that comes out of the gear
Yep.
that you can. When I look at like gear versus raw, I always have to kind of like look in the middle. Like, what's the single ply? Like how big's that deficit from a squat to a pull? And
That
you
makes
can
sense.
kind of see how that migration works each way.
And I think like it because you're gonna get more out of like a squat suit and or a equipped squat or equipped bench.
Yeah.
You need to put so much more effort into learning how to use those
Big time.
tools. So then you're practicing it more and you probably enjoy those training days more than like a deadlift day.
I did, but I mean, you came up at a different time,
Yeah.
right? So you came up at a time when Raw was really picking up. It was already picked up steam.
Yeah.
I mean, it was already rolling, so, I came in at a time there was no Raw.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just all it was. And it was this weird transition that happened, good, bad, indifferent. The sport's bigger. So I got to say overall, overarching,
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
Because it's a way bigger, giant sport. And, but it's different because when you came in, it's like, well, here's where I want to, you want to go where the strongest people are.
Yeah.
Which is funny because other people, no, they're not strong. Like that's where they are. And when the one thing that kind of stuck out when I was talking to Blaine Sumner is lifters are going to migrate towards how they come in.
Yeah.
So if you come in on the USAPL drug tested side, you're going to migrate towards nationals and maybe worlds, right? If you come in on the other side, most time, not always, there's no always, they're going to gravitate the other way.
I think a lot of that too has to come down to what kind of like gyms are in the area, or like
Yes.
where you're, or who are you training with? Because like I was talking to Amber Hansen, I was training at Dirty Gym,
Yeah.
down in Dayton, and they're the owner and one of the guys were telling me the demographic. Or they're like, oh, like it's me and like a few other people are like the USAPL guys. There's a couple of USPA guys, but then like most people are multiplying. I was joking, I'm like, man, Ohio's that one state that's holding on to multiply.
No, it is. As the funny shit happens out here, as the people will come out, they'll be raw, and slowly it's like, what the hell, here they go, then they're into that.
So.
And it's a weird thing because it depends upon the lifter, if I'm talking to them, because if I'm going to push them more towards the raw, which a lot of people probably don't want to hear.
Really?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like a battle because everybody else wants to try to push them into the gear. And I'm like, you can always do that.
Yeah.
It's like you were talking about, you can always take more shit.
Yeah.
You can go this route and get 3-4 years out of drug-free raw, right? Stay that way until there's no other option.
Yeah.
For real, no other option, not because somebody told you. Then you can go on.
Yeah, I mean, I think is it Mark Bell saying that's like strength is never a weakness. So
Yeah.
it's very much like you're never going to get like worse at powerlifting by becoming stronger raw. So like
No.
so
No, I mean,
it's a good place to start for anyone, really.
Well, the argument back to that will be, well, the longevity isn't going to be there for the raw people. Like, okay, that's yet to be seen.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if that's necessarily the case.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Because you got to look at the natural attrition. Anyhow,
Yeah.
most people only stay in it for what, a year? Majority probably one meet.
Yeah.
3 years, maybe 5 years.
Yeah, I'd say like 3 to 5 is probably pretty.
Then it's out. I mean, you've been doing this shit for 10 years. And you got a little quad pain. Come on.
Yeah.
It's, there's that, and there's still that option. To where if for some reason, you accomplish all your goals, you're like, okay, now I want to fucking put gear on.
Yeah.
You can do that, right? Even if you're a little fucked up, you can do that because it supports you a little bit more. Where if I think reverse, like, well, let's put them in all this shit from the very beginning. Well, what happens when they get fucked up from that?
Yeah.
Well, they're going to go raw.
It's a little bit harder to do that.
You can't.
Yeah. And I think like I don't know, I guess I've never like used gear, so I don't know how it like relates, but like in my mind, like even though you have like compression on like certain joints, you still have a significant more amount of weight on your back, and that's like
No, I mean, it's not what people think, right? I mean, you still got to put, if you get 400 pounds out of your gear, you still need to fucking stand up.
yeah, that's still an extra 400 pounds on your spine. Like,
Yeah, you got to stand up with a grain and sit down with it.